In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a spooky collage similar to this one. The first thing that you need to do is go to Google and do a search for whatever elements you want to have in your collage. So I thought that the Carson Mansion would be interesting to have because it looks scary and it's local. So I typed in Carson Mansion, but I wanted to show you right here under Search Tools. If you click that, you get more options right here. And so I chose size large. So that's only going to show images that are a big size. So I think this is the one I used right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And it shows you a small thumbnail right here. If you copy this, sometimes this turns out to be actually really small. What you should do is go to View Image and see this little magnifying glass with the plus sign. If I click that, the image will get even bigger. So you want to follow the links until you get to the image that's the largest size possible. So what I'm going to do is right click and save image as, and then go to my folder on the P drive and save it. But I already have a copy right here, so I'm actually just going to cancel this. Another little bit of advice about the images. Can you see how this image doesn't have a lot of stuff in the background? The sky is really plain. That will make it really easy to cut this out. So this is a really good choice when you're making a collage in Photoshop. So let's go to Photoshop now. And what I'm going to do is open, you know what, I have it open right here. I'm going to open my Carson Mansion. You can see I also have a black cat, a graveyard, a hill with a path, and a sky. Those are the elements that I wanted for my collage. So I'm going to get the Carson Mansion and open it up. And the first thing that I need to do is over here on the Layers tab, you can see that this says background and it has a padlock on it. It's really important that you get rid of that padlock. So what I'm going to do is double click and it's going to convert this to a new layer called Layer 0, and I'll click OK. Now what I'm going to do is I need to add some more space so that I have room for the hill and the sky and that type of thing. So I'm going to go to Image, Canvas Size, and I'm just going to guess that I'll need 24 by 28. And that might be too big, but I can always crop it later. Now what I'm going to do on the keyboard is hit Control 0, and that will fit the image onto my computer screen so that I can see everything. Alright, I want to get rid of the sky, so I'm going to come over here to my toolbox and grab the Magic Wand tool, hold it, and get the second one down. I'm going to click on the sky, and you can see everything that's the same color, it will select. You can see it didn't get this little spot up here at the top, and it didn't get this little spot down here. So I'm going to hit delete, and then I'm going to go back and get that spot, hit delete, go down here and get this one, and delete it. Okay, so that was really easy to do because the sky was really plain. I'm going to take the Move tool and move my mansion up here towards the top. I think next maybe I'll do the sky. So here's my folder. I'll take the sky, drag it over, and then separate the tabs by pulling it down. Then with the Move tool, I'm just going to click the sky and drag it, and then I'm going to close the sky. So I'm going to move the sky into place, and I'm going to click up here on the top menu bar, Auto Select, change this to Layer, and Show Transform Control. So you can see that the image actually goes way over here to the side, so I'm going to shrink it a little bit. So I'm going to hold down Shift and use only the corner and drag it so it fits the width of my my document here. So once I get it to the right size, I'm going to click the check mark. You'll notice something else. The sky went over the mansion. So I'm going to take the sky layer over here and drag it down below the mansion. Okay, so far so good. Let's see. I want to make this black and white now. So I'm going to click the top layer and click the, let's see, where is it? Up here, black and white is this one, the kind of half black, half white symbol. Alright, looks pretty good. You can mess around with these little sliders if you want to achieve different effects with your image, but I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm going to leave it. Let's see, I think next I'll do the hill. So I'm going to grab the hill, drag it over, and click the tab, pull it down to separate it. With the move tool, I'm going to drag that over. And I'm going to close this. Well, you can see that the size of the hill is not that great. So I'm going to have to make it a little bit larger. So I'm going to hold down Shift and grab only the corner. Watch what happens if I don't hold down Shift. It gets all smushed and distorted. So when you hold down Shift, it forces the document to remain proportionate. So I'm going to drag it the whole width of the image and then click my check mark. I'm going to move it up maybe to right there. Now this time the magic wand tool is not going to work to delete the sky because it has lots of different colors in it. So instead I'm going to use the lasso tool. So I'm going to click and hold on the lasso tool and grab the second one down, the polygonal lasso. So right where the little tip of the lasso is, I'm going to start over here in the gray area and click. Then I'm going to move it over, click, 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 and I'm just going to follow the edge of this hill with the road and carefully cut out the top of it. Okay, now that I'm on the side, I can be sloppy on this top part, and the beginning point and the end point have to touch. So click. Now all I have to do is hit delete. Great. Alright, I'm going to move my black and white adjustment layer over the hill so it turns black and white too. Now I'm going to get the move tool and take the mansion and move it down. I want it to look like the path is leading to the door, so I'm going to say maybe about right there. Alright, I don't like this blank area right here where I can see the checkerboard, so what I'm going to do is go to this button right here. This is Create New Layer, and I'm going to take that new layer and drag it to the bottom, so it's the very last layer. I have black in my paint chip over here. Hidden underneath the gradient tool, if I click and hold on that, is the paint bucket. So I'm going to click to paint that last layer, layer 3. I painted it black, so that kind of covers that area. I don't like where you can see this text on here, so I'm going to go to the sky layer and get the eraser tool. I'm going to set it on a fuzzy brush, this maybe size 300. And I'm just going to swoosh it along here to erase that edge. Alright, so far so good. Another area that I don't like where the hill doesn't seem to come up quite far enough. So I'm just going to get the clone stamp tool and go to the hill layer, which is layer 2. Let's see, again I want a fuzzy brush, maybe size, let's try size 100. And I'm going to Alt and click to get a sample of the hill, and I'm going to fill it in. I'm going to Alt and click maybe to get some of this hill over here. Okay, so far so good. Let's see, what should I put in next? Let's get the gravestones. So I'm going to drag the gravestones over and pull the tab down, get the move tool, click it. Oh, let's see. Do I want to convert the color? Yes. Okay, I'm going to close this. Alrighty, let's see here. So I want to delete the sky. I'm going to get the magic wand tool. I purposely chose this image because it had a plain sky, so that will make it easy to cut out. If there is a bunch of trees or grass or something back here, it would be really hard to cut out. So be really careful when you choose your images. So delete. Control D is deselect. I can see I have a little bit of right here. Actually, you know what? I think I'm just going to get the eraser tool and erase that part. Good. All right, I'm going to use the fuzzy eraser because this has a really hard edge on it. So I'm going to kind of just make that a little bit smaller. I'm just going to soften this up. Soften up that hard edge. And when I did that, I'm going to use the magnifying glass here. I see that I missed some of the white area. So I am going to use the magic wand tool, and I'm going to change one of these boxes up here on the menu where it says contiguous. I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to click this spot. So what that's going to do is anywhere in the image where that value is, Photoshop will select it, and then I can hit delete, and it's gone. Control D is deselect. Now zoom tool, and I'm going to hit fit screen. Get the move tool. I'm going to put this over here in this corner. It's a little bit too big, so I'm going to hold down shift, use only the corner, shrink it to the right size. There we go, that looks good. Check mark. Okay, I'm going to make a copy of this by holding down Alt on the keyboard. Watch what happens to the cursor. It turns into a double arrow. Then I'm just going to click and drag a copy. Now I don't want it to be exactly the same because it looks kind of obviously like it's been copied. So what I'm going to do is flip it. So edit, transform, flip, horizontal. There we go. That's better. But I'm also going to take the eraser, make sure it's fuzzy, and I'm going to erase this little bit right here that's covering the road. So that's good. They don't look exactly the same on both sides, so it's kind of not fake looking. Okay, so let's make some more gravestones. I'm going to click the move tool again, select this one, hold down Alt, drag up a copy, take shift and shrink it because it's further in the background, so it should be smaller. Click the check mark. Now you can see that this gravestone is on top of this one and I need it to be behind it. So I'm going to go over here, layer 4, copy 2, and drag it under layer 4. There we go. That's layered better. And I think I'm going to take this soft eraser and erase a little bit more of the grass so that it blends in a little better. And I'm going to soften this edge right here. There we go. I like that. Okay, so now move tool. I'm going to grab this side, hold down Alt, drag up a copy, take this copy and drag it down so it's behind the other one, hold down shift, shrink it, move it up to maybe right here, shrink it a little bit more. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Check mark. Let me check my other one. Okay, so let's see, I have one more graveyard. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as the other one. So I'm going to take this graveyard, hold down Alt, drag one up on this side, make sure this layer is behind the other ones. I think I'm going to go ahead and flip it, edit, transform, flip horizontal, move it over. It's further behind, so it does need to be smaller. Maybe this size here. Check mark. I love the way the gravestones are sticking up into the sky. I think that looks really cool. Alright, so next I'm going to add a cat. Naturally, I need to have a cat in mind. So I'm going to click that, drag it over here so it opens. And separate the tabs. Use the move tool to drag that kitty over. I'm going to get rid of the white with the magic wand tool. Click on the white, hit delete, Control D to deselect. Get the move tool, put the kitty right here, but it's way too big compared to the gravestones. So maybe something like that. I'm using the arrow keys to kind of position the kitty into place. I can close this. Alright, so the last thing I need to do is add some text. So I'm going to make it white, so I need to change this. Get the text tool, and I'm going to make it a really large size, let's say 150. I'm going to click here and write happy. And I'm going to have it be two separate layers. So I'm going to start with happy, and I already chose a font in advance, and it's called Freebooter Script right there. So I'm going to move that right here kind of by the roof, click the check mark. Now over here on this cloud above this sparkling star, I'm going to put Halloween. And move it kind of like that. Now I want it to be a little transparent, so over here I have Halloween selected. I'm going to make this opacity looks like 36, and might as well make this one 36. Yeah, nice. So it kind of fades in, and you can kind of see the clouds kind of showing through. Alright, so that is my finished collage. So what I'm going to do is go to File, Save As, and I'll call it Spooky Collage and put my name on it. So that's my original, and it has all of my layers on it, and it's the full size. Now, I'm going to File, Save As, and after this I'm going to put Web and change it to a JPEG. And make the size 6. Now I have to go open it. Actually, it should be in here. Let's see. Refresh. So where's the one called Web? Okay, so here's the one called Web. I need to change it to 9 inches so that I can put it on my website. So image size, change it to 9. Hit OK. Save it. File, save my size change. Go to my website. On the Photoshop tab, I'm going to make a new post, and I'll call it Spooky Collage, and insert image, upload, Spooky Collage let's see, P drive, my folder, my Photoshop folder, there it is, and I want the one called web because that's the one I shrank. Open, and I'll call it Spooky Collage. Right on, save, and there we go, uploaded to my website. Finished. All right, that's it for now. Remember that your collage will be built differently because images that you choose will be different. So yours will look maybe similar to mine, but not exactly the same. That's it for now.